I was just having so much fun watching the live coverage of the warm-up match from Thiruvananthapuram, my hometown, where Australia was taking on the Netherlands, and there are plenty of storylines building in. A lot of things that could be a very important factor going forward in this World Cup, especially the way spinners may come into operation. I think the turn is going to be a factor, maybe the slowness of the pitch is, but the most important factor that the spinners should capitalize on for this World Cup, from what we have seen so far from the warm-up matches, is the length that they bowl, especially to the top order or the ones who are looking to hit the ball out of the park. This skewed little length, they have to just come forward, then maybe they can just turn a little bit. That length is going to be key for the spinners. But right now we are going to talk about this is a second episode for the teams that are capable of winning the World Cup, or the favorites, number two, in no particular order. Because if you're asking me to rank after India, I would say it has to be England. But I would like to talk about the team, our neighbors, Pakistan. Very strong side. And I always remember a line from Harsha Bhogle when he says that if Pakistan come to a tournament with the tag of favorites, they're gonna be very bad. They're gonna play really bad. But if their back is against the wall and they are cornered, they are so dangerous. And right now, after what happened in the Asia Cup and maybe what happened yesterday after that warm-up match in Hyderabad against New Zealand, I mean, beware of Pakistan, because they have a good side. And those guys could be really dangerous. Now let's talk about the strengths first and what makes Pakistan a very interesting side. Obviously, their captain Babar Azam is one of the most complete batters of this generation. He has so much class and he's good fun. You can actually depend on Babar Azam and he will have a good World Cup, that's for sure, even if there will be an occasional failure or so. In totality, Babar Azam has to have, because that has been the consistency that he has actually displayed over the years. And the second factor when it comes to the bat is Mohammad Rizwan. See, I do not consider Rizwan as one of the most talented batters, but when it comes to applying yourself, Mohammad Rizwan is second to none, because he has this, maybe he talks to himself, and he has this belief that I can do it. And he is not someone who throws away his wicket that easily. He'll put a price on his wickets, which is very key, a very rare talent at this point of time. And that makes Mohammad Rizwan very, 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 very special. Because Rizwan at 4, or even if it's coming out to bat as 5, Rizwan will make sure that, he is in and around and stays for a long time. Even in T20 cricket, the idea behind Rizwan's play is that he wants to spend some time in the middle with the bat. So that will definitely come into play. 50 overs is a longer format. He's also the wicket keeper, so his body and his freshness in his mind should also be there. But Rizwan, the attitude as a batter is key. The second big strength of Pakistan, always, you take any Pakistan side across the World Cups, their pace bowling team. You can't just say it's just one person. The team, even though Naseem is missing, they're still very strong. Yesterday they had a bad day, and don't just count what happened yesterday and make decisions or predictions based on that. The Pacers will come good. And if there is any kind of support in the pitch, they're going to be really crazy good. So Pakistan's Pacers are really going to be one big, big positive. And they have a few talented players in their middle order who can also roll their arms. They have a few players who are not totally established as the top players in the world. But maybe this World Cup could be that stage. You never know. Now let's talk about the weaknesses. Two weaknesses, I can say two weaknesses mainly. One is not a weakness, but maybe not a big strength of the Pakistan side, which is the spinners. They have spinners, make no mistake about that. They have some good spinners. But when you're talking about the best of the best in the world when it comes to spin bowling, you won't say, okay, for example, they don't have a Rashid Khan kind of a player, but I was just going through what happened when the World Cup was played last time in India in 2011. Yes, India won that World Cup, but remember Yuvraj Singh and the part that he played, he was instrumental. And when you're looking at the Pakistan side, in from the Indian side, there is no one similar to Yuvraj Singh. You can, to an extent, say, okay, Ravindra Jadeja is a left-arm spinner and he can bat. Yes, he's a great fielder. But Yuvraj Singh was a way better batter when you compare Ravindra Jadeja. But Shadab Khan, that was the point I was trying to make, is very similar to Yuvraj Singh. And if Shadab Khan can have a kind of World Cup like the one which Yuvraj Singh had in 2011, Pakistan could be flying really, really, really high. I'm not writing off Pakistan. They will have something up their kitty. And if they are not making the semi-finalist, A, I will be surprised, and B, I think we will have to blame the team itself, because otherwise they will definitely make the semi-finals. That's my calculations now. So that maybe the lack of a world-beating or the best of the best spinners in the world, maybe it could be something that holds Pakistan back. That's not a weakness, but it's not their strength. But they have a few players who can bowl and also, strike the ball really big. So I think they will arrange and they will make shift and they'll be okay with that, because their pacers, well, they're the best in the world. Now, another weakness, so to say, of the Pakistan side is maybe if you take a few players off, they have quality. Make no mistake. Some of their batters are real quality. Fakhar Zaman, I'm a big fan. Imam is somebody who is really promising. But other than Babar Azam and maybe, let's say, Rizwan to an extent, you really don't know which Pakistan batting unit will turn up, because one person or the other, if they actually come good on a particular day, it's going to be fine. But one of the other will have to come good. That's not something which Pakistan can say, this is what we have been doing. Similar to Indian middle order. Indian middle order, they had a few games recently, like the Pakistan first game from the Asia Cup, where, Ishan Kishan and Hardik Pandya actually steady the ship in the middle order. That's just a very small sample size. So Pakistan will need one of their middle order batsmen to actually come good and be consistent, which is, when you look at the history or the recent run-up, as not very promising thing on their side. But again, not a big weakness. It's not like, they don't have players. They have players. But their players need to be putting in big numbers and big numbers consistently. But they are a very good side. Scary good side. Nobody will be surprised if Pakistan is actually going to win the World Cup eventually. Like I said, I think 5 teams have a realistic chance of actually winning this. This is an answer also to a previous question that I asked. Do you think any of there will be a first time winner? And the first name probably that comes to your mind could be New Zealand, who are the finalists from last edition and the edition before that, 2015 and 19. But I don't think New Zealand is going to win or even reach the semi-finals. Yes, they actually made a strong point yesterday, beating Pakistan and chasing a big total. But I think Pakistan will be dangerous, and I don't think, maybe this line could come back and bite me, but that's all right. But let's see what happens. I always see New Zealand is a team which could be the second or third favorite of every individual team, because they are so good, they are so nice, they're those friendly buddies. But I don't know if the team has. They're never a team of superstars, but the parts and the way they gel, play as a team, all those things, they're still good. But I don't think this is going to be another time when New Zealand actually makes the semi-final. Let's see. You never know, but let's see. But I think South Africa could be, because before the World Cup starts, you will have to look at what the team is looking on paper. Once the game starts, then you will know how they're gelling well, how their vibe is, how their mental ability is, how are they in a stability when you talk about the mental conditioning, all those things come to the fore. Then you can judge a team properly. But before the game starts, you're looking at the paper, looking at the strength, the composition, the balance of the side. I think South Africa, India, Pakistan, Australia, and the current defending champions England. These five teams are the favorites to win the World Cup. So that's a small video about Pakistan. So next up we'll be talking about the defending champions England. So please tell me, I would love to hear from you. Who do you think is the number one favorite? If you ask me right now, I think given the conditions and everything, India has to be the favorites. Slightly, not by a big margin, but slightly India are the favorites. But I'm sure you guys have a different opinion. So please write in the comments which team is going to win the World Cup. Cheers.